Hello the channel, welcome back everyone. We're on Christmas jumper day today, so apologies for the daft jumper. So I would get some lineup building out. So a couple of messages from people actually just saying they missed the lineup building a wee bit. So that's good. Thanks very much for the feedback. And we'll make sure we try and get them out. Just been a bit busy recently. Made my rivals debut as well. So mixed bag there. Went for the Man City stack, which obviously didn't work. Celtic game went not too bad, so that's not too bad. So before we go through things, just a wee overview in terms of what's happening just now. The eagle-eyed of you will notice that there's been a new arrival to the club. So yeah, Big Matt O'Reilly has arrived. Couldn't resist. Couldn't resist. He's just too good. Guy is the best under 23 mid this season, 5 year contract, and he's under 23 next year as well. So what more could you want? Obviously there'll be a wee bit of a risk in terms of transfer, but we've been saying this about Joey Veerman and things every season. So that's Challenger, that's under 23s for you, all that sort of stuff. So there we go. In terms of lineups midweek, well, Celtic conceded. It was all going great guns. We were nearly there, but I think we may well have had some redemption. So let's have a look at this beauty. Notwithstanding Mo Salah having the lowest score, so 100 from Trent, 100 from Virgil. Saboz's if I can say that right, with a 90. Kelleher finally got his act together and Salah let it down, but currently sitting first, so still has a chance of a podium, or we'll see what happens with the Tottenham game tonight and with the Newcastle game. So still 2 games to go, but a couple of hundreds in there, so that's pretty good. So let's do some lineup building. So first and foremost, we're going to build some limited. I know that's the thing the majority of people play. I will stick to the same themes and we'll go from there. Before we do the Celtic lineups, we'll have a wee chat about Playsharper as well. So under 23 limited. Again, going to be consulting with spreadsheet, which has been supplied by Sorare Probabilities. Finding this a really useful tool, particularly useful. So, for example, we've got it set to the game week, everything's all updated, and then we're going to start filtering it for each of these ones to see what the highest projected scores are, etc. Had a wee look at this in advance, and Tribun's got a pretty good fixture, there's no doubt about that. So, yeah, I think that this is definitely going to be an obvious one where my internet's pretty slow just now. It's just updating. But yeah, Tribun with a 69, that's that's a sort of standout there in terms of the fixtures. Win percentage 86, clean sheet percentage 56%. So anything in the green there is pretty good, So tennis will get a shot with Donnarumma doing his usual maniacal stuff. Bart Verbruggen's one I always like, but I just can't call when he's going to play at the moment. So it's got to be Tribun. It's got to be Tribun. Do have some good options in defence, so let's see if there's anything that stands out here. Antonio Silva is interesting. What again with this too? You can also filter with scarcity. So we're doing limited just now, so I'm going to pull this back to limited and see what the story is with the highest projected scores. So Guardiola, that's an interesting selection. Played pretty well away at Aston Villa. Really nice score. I think there's only one choice here. It's got to be Sugawara. I mean, Guardiola's not 100% assured to be starting with the old Pep roulette and all that type of stuff as well. Midfield wise, well, as I said, there is only one Matt O'Reilly. The guy is in sensational form. Kilmarnock away can be a wee bit of a sticky game. We'll come back to that when we're talking about the Playsharper stuff. But yeah, highest projected score by a mile there. Phil Foden's playing pretty well just now, so that's interesting. So we'll go for the highest available Matt O'Reilly. And then we've obviously got some options. Hopefully Virts isn't too badly injured. That would be a shame. Haaland, so yeah, I mean, this looks like quite a good fixture. I expect team goals for City. I do expect them to bounce back. So Scott Olsen, pretty interesting selection. Julian Alvarez as well. So yeah. In terms of Haaland, they'll probably use the older cards higher. percentage as well. And yeah, I mean, Luton played pretty well. I watched that whole game against Arsenal, but although they played pretty well, um, they did concede 3 goals. So yeah, I think that Man City will be on the hunt there. And then we're back to picking the extra. See if there's anybody standing out. D-Mick, who doesn't really play. Foden, pretty interesting. Actually, he's been one of City's best players, actually, so you wouldn't expect him to be rotated, but that's the problem with the Pep Roulette side of things. Alvarez as well, played quite a lot. I think I do fancy pairing Foden and Haaland, actually, just because, say, look, there's nobody else really here standing out. I suppose Scott Wilson, actually, yeah. Again, he's rotated a wee bit too. Micklin are a bit hit and miss, although they're a bit better at home. You just expect that there'll be a bit of a reaction from Man City at some point. And then captain wise, well, there we go. There's a decision made on that. No bias there at all, honest. Whilst we're doing the under 23s, let's do that, and then we'll have a wee look at the winter competition, etc. as well. So under 23 rare plus. So again, we'll need to take this. We've got it on under 23 focus, but we'll put it back to all scarcities so that we can have a wee look and see if we can find the best solution. So again, Tribune on a similar theme. This guy Jungdal, by the way, I picked him up recently, and he's had 3 clean sheets in a row, so that's pretty interesting. Although Venezia, you would imagine, would be pretty handy, but Cremonese at home, so he's one to look out for. Obviously, quite a lot of games in Serie B as well. So Tribune, obviously, stand out there would be where we're going to go with Antonio Silva in terms of a defensive stack. I mean, in terms of team fixtures, Benfica are quite high up here in terms of fixtures, so 4th best fixture overall. Dynamo Zagreb have got an excellent fixture, so if you can predict the inevitable kind of rotation for that, then that could be interesting. I think Sugawara's really got to go in here, just availability wise. Interestingly, here now I've got Matt O'Reilly. So what they do with this, they play him an All-Star. All-Star under 23 there. Bilal El-Kanous has been really good in this competition for me as well, but it lets me use him elsewhere, so that's quite good. And I think, under 23 focus. The good thing about doing this is, I can use these high XP Matt O'Reilly's elsewhere, so that's kind of interesting. And then forward wise, so my players. So yeah, this is I don't have I was away there for a minute. I don't have Rare Haaland. Doku is things a wee bit of an injury risk, so I don't know if he's going to play. Musiala's out. O played pretty well for Celtic, so that's interesting. Take Kubo, pretty interesting one as well. Tengsted's interesting, although I don't think he's absolutely 100% secured his place. And Buemo injured, so that's a shame. That would have been a good fixture against Sheffield United, you would have thought. Rodrigo, actually, well, where's the Rodrigo on this? Rodrigo's been smashing it. I wonder why he's not showing it. Yeah, 55. He's not a big guy in terms of AA or whatever, but his form is absolutely sensational. Absolutely brilliant. And then what do we do with the last slot? So, as I said, Phil Foden's a wee bit of a risk. Szoboszlai, really good form. Excellent. I think we take the recommendation here and we'll do that. I guess if you're going to play Trubin, then you're thinking that we're going to go for a big score in terms of Benfica, and they're at home, and yeah, I think that would make most sense. Nice averages and everything there as well. So interesting. What we'll do now is I think we'll have a wee look at Playsharper and the Celtic predictions. Then we'll start picking some Celtic teams as well. I know that's a big theme. So Joe Hart, yeah, I mean, I don't think he was really to blame in any way for the goal last night. Bit unfortunate, Carter Vickers. So this is an interesting one here. So I've got Phillips and then Navrocki and then Vickers. Well, why Vickers come off at half time? Rogers said that he felt some tightness in his hamstring. Also, Vickers has been left out in this pitch at Kilmarnock before. So, yeah, I just can't see Vickers playing at the weekend. Just wouldn't make any sense for me. He's taken him off as a precaution. He might be okay, but why risk him? I don't see why. Liam Scales, that solidifies his position, because unlikely you're going to start rotating Scales when you've got this. And Rogers said about the centre back pairing being one that you want continuity, so I'd imagine Scales definitely start. Greg Taylor came off a wee bit earlier. Shows you how much the manager likes Bernabei. He brought on Ralston in the wrong position. Did say Greg Taylor had a touch of flu, so I've got him down at 85% here. Again, Alistair Johnson looked pretty good last night, actually. The game next midweek is actually against Feyenoord, and it's a dead rubber, so I'd expect minutes being managed there. I've got Maeda in here as injured. Probably need to update that, actually, because he is back in training now, so I think he'll be in a squad soon. Callum McGregor, I mean, he's shown the lower position here, but Watt is probably the one that's going to fill this role lower down. Celtic, pretty good performance level with a Watt playing, and I think that he'll be given his run in the team now. McGregor and O'Reilly obviously are constants there, and unless there's any injury news, they're ones that you would hopefully bank on. Luis Palma, excellent again. Mikey Johnson came off a bit early. He's not played much recently, so that's kind of to be expected, and I think he'll probably fill that role until Maeda comes back. This is a big call. O or Furuhashi, I'm giving it a 50-50, and also I'm putting O in. I just think that after that brilliant performance, that he's I think after that brilliant performance, he's got to be in the reckoning to start. So people have got to take that risk into account there, really. So, in terms of challenger, Kilmarnock's still pretty good fixture for Celtic as well. There's no doubt about it. I think he'll be going challenger rare plus. So I see. I'm just having a look. Dashboard. Now again, it means you're definitely going up against some Dynamo Zagreb stacks. Galatasaray have got a good fixture as well, Benfica. So, whether that works out or not, that's definitely a consideration. In fact, I'm going to leave that decision. I'm going to think about that a bit more. Actually, let's pick the limited one for fun, just so that we've got the information out, and I'll make a decision on that separately. But that's something to think about. Just thinking about what's the best stack for that division, but you've got to have a quick think about, is there any likely smasher other games there as well. So Joe Hart, I'm sure he'll get a clean sheet at some point. Please. Now I might do something a bit different here. Celtic not been keeping as many clean sheets, and Douglas Santos does have a really good fixture, so this is really a call between Scales and Dougie Santos. Might go Dougie Santos, a bit of a differential, so that's interesting. Matt O'Reilly, so not much of a surprise there. In terms of limited, I don't really have any other great options up front. So, you could just do something to avoid that sort of situation of the O and the Furuhashi type thing. I think maybe worth risking O in the caps more, and maybe go Skov Olsen. I don't have the Zenit goalkeeper, so Joe Hart's got to go in. And then I guess from that perspective, if we're just destroying the Celtic stack, then you just do that as well, So Dougie Santos or Sugawara. I mean, Sugawara has been excellent form. Almir are pretty rotten, so that could be a good captain pick. So there you go. I'm not necessarily recommending a full Celtic stack this weekend. So this will probably be the weekend we keep a clean sheet and where I'm at home. But yeah, if you're going to go a defender, Scales should be pretty safe. Cal McGregor's playing a bit further forward, so if you've got him but you don't have O'Reilly, pretty good selection. And then the forward's a bit of a toss-up at the moment, unfortunately. So there we go. We'll have a wee look at the Premier League Winter Special. So this is a really good competition. I've really enjoyed it, to be honest. Obviously, you need 4 limited cards to get in here from the new season, so pretty interesting. I don't know if there's an EPL filter on this. There probably will be, and a guy will tell me, and he'll just be like, there is an EPL filter. League. What a man. Where is it? England Premier League. Look at that. What a fantastic resource. Never ceases to amaze me, honestly. What a brilliant resource. It's just so good. Like, I find it really, really good in terms of confirming decisions or making decisions. So that's good when you've got a wee bit of choice, which I know I'm lucky to get a bit of choice. So there we go. So let's pick a team based on this. Mark Flecken, pretty high expected score against Sheffield United. Yeah, there's a Liverpool one there, and that's good as well. I think that fits well because you've got the 40 there in terms of cap costs, so that frees up the other positions. Let's see what the story is in terms of outfield positions. So Akanji, Virgil van Dijk's been absolutely outrageous. So good. Um, Again, though, I think I'll probably run him in the Liverpool stack just because they've become quite stackable recently. Scarcity. We're looking at all the scarcities here, so let's narrow it down a wee bit for clarity. Trent, I suppose that you could run Virgil in one stack and Trent in another one. I mean, Trent has been really good. Crystal Palace doesn't strike me as a hugely easy game, but where's Pedro Porro? Average 50. Probably not taking account of the fact he's on sets and stuff recently. So I think with he's a pretty good selection for this, given his cap cost because he is on the set pieces and everything there as well. So that's probably a non-Liverpool team, right? Midfield wise, De Bruyne is out at the moment. Obviously, Phil Foden riding high. Rodrigo back after suspension, so you'd imagine he's going to be going pretty well against Luton. So that's interesting. So could, rather than going full stack, because Luton scored against Arsenal as well, you could do something like this. So Haaland. Now the only problem there is only leaves me with an average of 39 for the last position. So last 15 average score max 39. So Nico Williams, Pervis, not sure he's back. Amahodzic. So this is just my own cards, right? Bentancur's injured. Thiago, Ben Dokes. Nothing really sticking out at me there. I mean, there's some nice high ones, but a lot of these guys are injured, etc. On that point as well, Miguel's got you covered. There is actually an injuries link here as well. So he's got an injuries and suspension section and also a season calendar. So I'd say this is quite a comprehensive resource, but everything seems to be sort of covered here, which is absolutely brilliant as well. And so it's got a list of all different injuries. I've asked if you could maybe sort this so that you could filter it to my player as well, but there is a search function on there too. So yeah, anyway, back to the selection. So probably not going to get Haaland, and I mean Haaland's been a wee bit poorer recently, so let's maybe pick another forward. Rodrigo's coming out of the stack anyway, so is there anybody a bit lower down that could be interesting? Can't use Alvarez because it's an old season card. Mateus Cunha isn't we need he's been in excellent form recently. And what does that leave us in terms of affordability? So you can only use new season cards here as well, so because you need 4, right? So that restricts it a wee bit. Edward at home against Liverpool. Yeah, Liverpool are a bit leaky. There's no doubt about that. Cody Gakpo, he started the last game, so that's pretty interesting. Lo Celso, pretty interesting one. Højbjerg, again, pretty interesting. Matoma against Burnley. So there we go. So it actually leaves with 11 left over, but so if we take out Cunha, it leaves with some other options. Nothing really that's standing out that much. I hate to leave the cap cost on the table, but this is a kind of non-Liverpool stack, so let's have a look and see if we can fit a good Liverpool stack in as well, because they've been pretty good. Captain wise, interesting one. Yeah, might go Rodrigo just now. Man City have really missed him. Pretty game they can dominate against Luton as well. Pick one more and then we'll wrap it up. We've done about 20 minutes here, so obviously giving you Celtic thoughts, under 23 thoughts, EPL thoughts, information on other teams as well. So I think that's okay for just now. But if anybody does feel as if we can cover anything else, you can let me know as well. So Liverpool stack, Kelleher. Interesting here. I mean, Virgil's actually down to 63 now. I wonder why that is. So good. 56 average cost now. We really want to put Salah in a Liverpool stack, don't we? Just so that we get punished. And again, Szoboszlai is probably the midfielder of choice here. So the only problem there is that leaves us with this conundrum. Who goes in the last position? So we can't put Trent in, it's not allowed. Højbjerg. Luis Diaz, he has been starting the games, right? He's not really done much recently, but you'd imagine he's well capable of producing some big moments. Quite a streaky player. So yeah, that seems like an obvious stack. Or rather than Virgil, could back Trent in here. He's been really good recently too. Virgil's just been immense, just been so good. Just going to make a mistake again. Bugger it. You'll not keep Mo Salah down for long. There's no two ways about that. Most decisive, likely. I mean, obviously Van Dijk's quite reliable, which is good. And then we'll finish off. Pick probably the biggest team just for discussion point. This is the one I find the most fun usually in terms of the teams to pick. So let's get us back to the resources and make sure we're making some good decisions here. My players. Database, my players only. Scarcity. Super rare. The wrong page, God's sake. Can't get the staff these days. Can't get the staff. Nobody says I was good at using the resources. Just it's a good resource in poor hands at the moment. So I need to take off this. Yeah, it's filtering it. So again, this is a good resource for the caps. If you say, well, I want to play 220 and I want to put in guys who are sort of lower or whatever, then we can you can filter it. But we want it back to the global settings. So again, Joe Hart is actually the highest projected. Courtois, Payne injured. Alisson, Payne injured. So Nick College playing Ajax. So yeah, that's not really a huge decision there, is it? We do have some decisions to make here though, because Vickers going to be out. So it's 79. Fucking hell. So that's pretty interesting. Rijeka, pretty good fixture. Alistair Johnson. Sugawara I'm using 23s. Rostovsky, again, he was out, so I would need confirmation he's going to be available actually. So I go for Mitrovic just now. I think I'll probably go using Matt O'Reilly in here. I mean, the two highest ones are O'Reilly and McGregor. So I'll go using Matt. And then Cal McGregor probably going into this position here. And then forward wise, again, this is a position with loads of injuries just now, which is a pain in the backside, and Furuhashi thing doesn't really help with O. Mainly at the moment because I don't have a super rare in terms of O. So that's going to be a wee bit of an issue just now. I do have a Tati, but he's out. Cleanest guy won recently. So yeah, I don't think I'll get any other choice. It's going to have to be Furuhashi. There's no choice there. I think Callum McGregor, captain, playing a bit further forward, being in really good form. I think that works out. Furuhashi, if he doesn't start, very dangerous from the bench. Kilmarnock can be solid at home, so O might have a more frustrating game than Furuhashi on the second half, even if he doesn't start. I think they'll share the minutes, so kind of got to go with that. And then, I could flip Mitrovic, just go for the full stack here, which would make more sense. I think I'll do that provisionally. I don't think Vickers is going to play. So unless Rostovsky comes through in terms of being likely to play, it's probably going to have to be that. Just moving my head out the way so I can confirm there. So there we go. Picked some lineups. Pretty happy about that. I say I've started playing a bit of rivals here. Let's have a look at it. Few requests. I'll try and work on these requests as well. That's just a provisional selection for Tottenham, and then I've already played some games. Where are they? They're probably in the lineups actually. Let's see. Oh yeah, lineups, rivals. So 1-2 of 2, even with their own captain there for Liverpool. Pretty good results for Celtic. Somebody beat me. So yeah, like Genty's picked the Luis Palma. So yeah, you can pick the comment there. So it's pretty interesting, eh? 2 super rares are unique, 2 rares still get beat by someone. So the same strategy. So people saying about not allowing people with big cards and stuff in seems to be a good setup. And shout out to Irish Villain. I don't know if he's watching these days, but destroyed me with the Aston Villa stack with the Park the Bus. Fantastic. Anyway, we're going to end there. Hope everyone's enjoyed a bit of lineup building. Thanks very much for those of you who messaged me and asked for that to come back, etc. It wasn't really a way as such, just one of those things. Been pretty busy recently as well. So I've got the Christmas jumper on as well. Merry Christmas. I'm going to plan a giveaway. Initial thoughts are that the giveaway is going to be maybe Boxing Day. Pick the limited teams and just keep the cash. So one winner gets picked the 3 EPL limited teams and just keep any cash. That's initial thoughts. We'll get an announcement done on that separately. Got the whole of December. Fair play to guys like Jack P, etc., who are doing a giveaway advent calendar type thing. That's amazing. Some effort been put into that. So please do follow guys like that as well, and give Big Egal a shout on S_probabilities on Twitter if you want to get a free trial of this spreadsheet, which I think is an excellent resource and certainly helped me focus recently in terms of getting results. Anyway, for the weekend, good luck. Go fuck.